morning, my name is Susan Jane, and here's a conversation starter. I've been asked, what do I do, what it's about, and I must admit I get a little bit embarrassed and I'm not really sure what I do and how I do it, but I just can't stop doing it, so I just keep going. But, there's something underneath me. But what I'd love to know, and one of the things I do say is that I like to empower people. I like to empower mainly women, but I'd like to empower people. I say women because I can understand probably a little bit more about what they're going through, being a woman myself. So I love to empower them. But what does that mean to you? I can turn around and say that, it's great, but what does that mean to you? And I'd love to get your comments about what empowering somebody means to you, or a story about how you've empowered somebody. One of mine is a situation where my partner was helping his son, and he was going through a few dramas, and you needed to sort of give him some advice, and what they'd tried before wasn't sort of working, and this young man was screaming out for help, and they didn't quite know how to do it. So I gave him a few ideas and left it at that. My idea, I like to give people ideas, but I like them to put it together how they want to put it together and create the learning or the understanding that they need. So I gave them a few little tips, a few analogies. I actually talked about the snakes and ladders analogy. So yes, we get up the ladders and we go along life just as general, step by step. But every now and then we reach a ladder and we can climb up it and we sort of start to see what the world's all about. And then obviously we'll hit a snake every now and again and go back down. And in using that analogy, it made it easier for him to see his son and understand his son's life. So he could just turn around and say, well, hey mate, you just hit a snake. That's okay. Just follow that down for a bit and then we'll head back up again and we'll look for some ladders. And it was empowering for me, not to tell him, but to hear him tell his son that, to use the words that I had used, to find that analogy that suited him, that made sense to him. That was so empowering. Or I felt I had empowered him, I should say. And I just felt so delighted because he'd taken that information and he had run with it in his own way, that twisted it and changed it to suit his son and his situation. So it was really, really lovely. And that's when I went, you know what, that's what I like to do. I don't have to fix people. I don't have to do anything like that. Just give them a few tools to help them get along. So that's how I like to empower people. That's why I've created the Intuitive Flowers as a tool to help develop your intuition, to empower you so you can go with how your gut's feeling, what you're saying, what you feel is the right thing to do. But how do you empower people? And you would be surprised how much influence you have on people and why it's so careful. We have to be so careful about what we say. So when we talk about empowerment, what does empowerment mean to you? How do you see it, and what's your idea of it? I'd love to hear your comments. Pop them in below and we'll get the conversation going. Okay, this is Susan Jane. Bye for now.